If I was starting my first co-living property today, I would get it generating $2,040 a month in passive income in 60 days instead of the 6 months it actually took me. My name is Chad Yeslova. I moved from Australia to Miami with basically nothing. No network, no contacts, no idea how American real estate worked. Today, I manage $6 million in assets, and every single property in that portfolio generates over $2,000 a month in passive income. That is impressive, but not as impressive as the investors I've helped do the exact same thing without finding a single deal themselves. In this video, I'm going to do something different from every co-living video you have ever watched. I'm going to give you the exact process, everything, A to Z for free. By the very end of this video, you'll know exactly how this works, whether it is right for you, and how to get started. Let's go. You probably clicked on this video wondering what exactly co-living is and how does it work. Let me break it down from zero. Most people buy a house and rent it to one family. One family, one rent check, maybe $1,500 a month if you are lucky. After the mortgage and expenses, you are left with almost nothing. Maybe $100 or $200 a month, and you are the landlord. Every call, every problem, every 2 a.m. emergency. Co-living is completely different. You buy the same house, but instead of renting it to one family, you convert it into private rooms and rent each one separately. 8 tenants, 8 rent checks from the exact same house. Here is how the money works. Each tenant pays $810 a month. 8 tenants means $6,480 coming in every month. You pay the mortgage, you pay the expenses, and $2,040 lands in your account every single month. That is 3 times what normal rental produces from the exact same property. That is the whole concept, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to make it work. Fair question. If this works so well, why isn't everyone doing it? Simple. Most property owners just don't have the time, the systems, or the desire to manage 8 separate tenants under one roof. Finding tenants, furnishing rooms, managing disputes, handling maintenance, coordinating everything on the ground. That is a full-time operation. Most sellers just want out. They want a clean exit and a reliable monthly payment. That is where we come in. We are not just buying their property, we are giving them a solution they actually want. They get a guaranteed monthly payment for years. We get a cash flowing asset. Both sides win. And here is the part that most people miss. Because sellers want a clean exit more than they want a lump sum of cash, they will often finance the deal themselves. Step 1 is choosing where to buy. This determines everything else. I focus on cities with large populations, at least 250,000 people in the immediate city. Here is why that matters. You need 8 tenants to make this work. In a small town of 15,000 people, finding 8 people who need an affordable furnished room right now is nearly impossible. Empty rooms means no rent. No rent means you pay the mortgage out of your own pocket every single month. I watched an investor do exactly this. Bought a cheap house in a small town, thought the low price was the advantage. 6 months later, he was selling the furniture and dumping the property. The cheap price didn't save him. It cost him. Big cities have a completely different problem. There are more people looking for affordable housing than there are rooms available. The demand never disappears. Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, Orlando, Jacksonville, Atlanta. These are the markets we operate in. But population alone is not enough. Here is exactly how I validate a market before spending a single dollar. I look up the zip code on our tenant platform and I check 3 things. 1, is that zip code listed as a core market? That means demand is proven and consistent, not a maybe, a proven fact. 2, is average occupancy above 90%? Anything below that and vacancy starts to become a real financial risk. 3, are there at least 30 active room rental properties already operating in that zip code? That proves real tenants are paying real rent right now. Not theory, proof. Our current property in Garland, Texas, that zip code has 100% average occupancy. 3 days to first tenant, 39 active properties already there, proving the demand. That is how you know before you spend a single dollar. If all 3 are yes, you are in the right place. If any of them is a no, you walk away, no matter how cheap the house is. Once you have identified your target market, you need to find the right property inside it. There is a huge misconception I see all the time. People think you need a big house, a 5 or 6 bedroom to start. That is not true. The best co-living conversions start with 3 or 4 bedroom homes. And here is why. You are going to convert the living rooms into bedrooms. You are going to convert the garage into 2 more rooms. You end up with 8 private rooms from what looks like a completely ordinary house from the street. Most investors walk past these houses every day and see a 3-bedroom. We walk in and see 8 income streams, but not every property works. Here are things I look for before walking away, no matter how cheap it is. HOA. If the property has a homeowners association, do not touch it. They can change the rules overnight. No more rentals, fees doubled. You are stuck with a property that no longer works. I own one right now that I lose money on every month because of an HOA. I bought it before I knew better. My other properties cover that loss. I just live with the mistake. Do not make the same one. Heavy fixer-upper. Permits, contractors, scope of works, too many variables for your first deal. Find something that needs cosmetic work only. Price too high. Stay between $250,000 and $400,000. You stretch to $500,000 and one empty room for a month starts to hurt badly. Keep your expenses low and your risk stays low. No garage. The garage conversion is where 2 of your 8 rooms come from. No garage means fewer rooms, means less income. No parking. Tenants need somewhere to park. We look for at least 1 parking spot per 2 tenants. The property that I'm going to walk you through today ticked every single box. Step 3 is where most people think they get stuck. They think they need a bank. They think they need perfect credit. They think they need the full purchase price sitting in their account before they can even start. They are wrong. Here is how we structure most of our deals. The seller owns the house outright or has significant equity, or perhaps they may have a lower interest rate from a little while back. They do not need a lump sum of cash sitting in their account. What they actually want is a clean exit and a reliable monthly payment for years. So instead of going to a bank, we go directly to the seller. We say this: we will buy your house, we'll pay you directly every single month. You act as the bank. No bank fees, no committees, no credit checks, no jumping through hoops. For the seller, it is often better than selling in the open market. They get monthly income for years, they get a guaranteed payment, they get a clean exit without the headache of managing the property. For us, we get into a $285,000 property for $50,000 out of pocket to cover down payment and fees. The seller carries the remaining $265,000. No bank involved. Our current Garland deal is structured exactly like this. $285,000 purchase price, $50,000 entry fee. Seller carries $265,000 at 6.5% interest over 40 years. Monthly mortgage payment of $2,258. 8 rooms at $810 each, generating $6,480 a month. After all expenses, $2,040 lands in the investor's account every single month. Most people do not know this is even legal. It is, and it is how we structure deal after deal. When I first moved to Miami, I thought I needed hundreds of thousands of dollars to get into real estate. I did not. I needed the right structure. Once the deal is signed, the conversion begins. This is where most people overthink it. They imagine huge structural changes, months of construction, complicated permits. The reality is simpler than that. Here is exactly what we do. The living room becomes a bedroom. We frame up a wall and install a door. 1 new room. The dining room becomes another bedroom. Same process. The garage gets converted into 2 private rooms with a hallway giving tenants access to the bathroom. Every room gets furnished. Bed, desk, storage, done. The cost to add each bedroom is around $7,500. The cost to furnish each room is $1,100. Our total conversion and furnishing cost on the Garland property was $46,300. From the day we sign to the day the first tenant moves in is 30 to 60 days. Let me show you what this actually looks like inside a real property. That is what an ordinary house looks like before. And that is what it looks like after 8 private rooms, each generating $1,000 a month. Same house, completely different income. Once the rooms are ready, the next step is filling them. We list across multiple platforms. We run our own tenant marketing. We have a system that has been tested and refined across dozens of properties. In the right market, rooms fill fast. Our Garland property is in a zip code with 100% average occupancy. 3 days to the first booking, 29 days to 80% occupancy. That means within 1 month of operating the doors, nearly all 8 tenants are paying rent. The key is being in the right market. That is why step 1 matters so much. Get the market right and filling rooms almost takes care of itself. Get the market wrong and no amount of marketing will save you. Here is the part everyone asks about. What happens when a tenant does not pay? What happens when something breaks? What happens when 2 tenants have a problem with each other? The answer is simple. Our team handles it. We have a property management system built specifically for co-living properties. Every tenant issue goes through the team. Every maintenance request gets logged and handled. Every late payment gets chased. You get a monthly report, you get a bank transfer, that is your involvement. One of our investors, Eric, just closed the second property. He has never visited either one. He nets $2,011 a month from the first property without doing a single thing. He sent us this message the day he closed his second deal. Would not have taken action if not for all your help. Massive, massive appreciation. Now he is already asking about deal 3. That is what the system looks like when it works. You own the asset, we run the operation, you check your bank account. Let me be completely honest about what this actually requires. Total cash needed to get into our current deal, $103,000 all in. That covers the entry fee, the conversion cost, the fees, the furnishing, closing costs, and 2 months of holding costs while the rooms fill. Timeline from signing to first tenant, 30 to 60 days. What can go wrong? Wrong market means empty rooms. Contractor delays can push your timeline. A bad tenant can cause headaches in the first month. How we reduce those risks? We only operate in core markets with proven occupancy data. We have contractors already lined up and ready to move. We vet every tenant through a proven screening process. Monthly expenses at full occupancy: water and trash, $250. Electricity, $400. Internet, $75. Lawn care, $80. Cleaning once a month, $80. Capital expenditure reserves, $280. Maintenance and repairs, $280. Total monthly expenses, $1,445. Gross income at full occupancy, $6,480. Less 10% vacancy, $648. Less mortgage, $2,258. Less monthly expenses, $1,445. Net income every month, $2,040. Cash on cash return, nearly 24%. It is a get rich steadily strategy. One property at $2,040 a month. 7 properties and you've replaced the average American salary forever. Look, most people who watch this video will take notes and then spend the next 3 months researching instead of actually doing anything. Please do not let that be you. I know some of you are thinking this sounds great, Chad, but I do not want to figure all of this out on my own. I do not want to find the deal. I do not want to manage the conversion. I do not want to deal with tenants ever. That is exactly what we do for you. You bring the capital, we find the deal, we convert it, we fill it, we manage it, you collect the income. I am doing a free live training where I walk through our current deal in full. Every number, every photo, the floor plan, the financing terms, exactly how to get started. If you have 100,000 sitting idle right now and you want to see what it could actually be doing, link is in the description. Book your spot. I will see you there.